Hi, Danny. Thanks very much for making the time today, mate. I know you're obviously very busy. The
You're
main
welcome.
thing is, how have Owens Cricket been doing at this difficult time, and how are you keeping?
It hasn't been too bad. When the lockdown was announced, the bats coming in just fell off the cliff, really. But the last few weeks have picked up slowly. So, yeah, you can tell nets have started in some capacity in England again, and I'm starting to get some bats in. So, hopefully, when the restrictions are lifted more locally, I'll get a few more in. So, but enough to keep
Fantastic.
me ticking by anyway.
Sure. And of course, I guess being in Wales, the legislation hasn't yet changed. But does the majority of your business come from within Wales, or is it mainly outside of Wales?
Um, Majority, I'd say 60-40, 60 locally, 40 oh, everywhere. Devon, Cornwall, Manchester, Norwich, Norfolk, you name it. And I've actually got a batting from Bulgaria at the minute, so
Oh wow, which brand is that, if you don't mind me asking?
it's an SS ton. It belongs to the Bulgarian national team captain. It does.
Did he find you on Instagram? How did that come to be? What's that connection?
I actually met him in 2009. And I don't know if you're familiar with the European Cricket League. Well, we held something similar to that at my club, Carmel and District, with national teams. We had who did we have there? We had Bulgarian national team, Croatia, Hungary, Russia, Czech Republic, and we had a week-long tournament at my club in 2009, and I, made a few acquaintances there, and he's kept in touch via social media and stuff. He's seen what I've been doing, and yeah, he's sent his bat from Bulgaria to North Wales. So
That's amazing. No, my friend when I was at uni, he did geography, and he did his dissertation actually on the National League cricket, and did it on, I think it was Germany, because there'd been
yeah,
a massive rise in Germany with
that's
immigration. I think that was the reason for that. So cool. Casting your mind back to the very beginning, tell me the story of how Owens Cricket started, and what was the story there.
well. I mean, I've always looked after my own bats since I was 15, 16. Light sand at the end of the season and an oil and whatnot. My older brother showed me how to do that. And then in the more recent years, say last sort of 6 to 10 years, I've gone that step further where I've been stripping my own bat and full sand buying sanders and whatnot. But it was actually I think January 2018. I got my bat ready for nets, and I put a post on Twitter, I think it was, and one of the lads from a local club, where did you send that? I said, I've done it myself. Do you fancy doing mine? I said, yeah, I'll do it for you, no problem. And then his mate had wanted his doing, and then they're tweeting stuff out, and I'm getting bats from local clubs and that, and then excuse me, my wife said, you should put something actually on social media that you're doing it, because you enjoy doing it and everything, and you do a good job. So yeah, that's pretty much where it started, and then yeah, it's just gone from there, really.
That's fantastic. And I guess people want to get their bat fixed ready for the next season if they don't want to get a new one.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and that's part of the reason I do it is, cricket bats are, they're an expensive buy. So, everyone has their favourites as well. I mean, the state I've had some in where, it looks ready for the fire, but it's their favourite bat, and they don't want to part with it. So yeah, when I can rescue a bat and the customer comes and picks it up, or I send it to them and they're happy with it, then happy days. That's why I do it.
Cool. And are there any that really stick out in your mind, bats that have come in and you've thought, how on earth do I fix that? I know I was chatting to Amos from Salix, and he said a few of the bats that they bring in, he thought, I don't know how this can be restored, and you bring them back to their former glory. Do you have any like that?
Recently, I had Beats All Sports, Bass Vampire in that, a guy who had stopped playing cricket, and then a teammate had given him this bat and he sent it me, and it was one of my very first ones. A guy from Norfolk sent me his SS Tum, which was it was like 1,000-piece jigsaw, but time, patience, and he was happy with it. So, and he's sent me more bats as well. So I must have done a decent job.
Fantastic. That's the best sign that people love your work.
Yeah.
Talking about the difficult things you've overcome, what have been the challenges of starting a bat refurbishment business?
Outlay of money more than anything, because I was just doing it in a very small, I think it's like 2 metre by 1 metre shed on an old worktop, which was, to start with, was fine. But then as I was getting, going from 2 bats a week to getting 10, 15 plus bats a week, of I need a bigger space to do this in. So but buying my workshop, as I call it, which is obviously a shed, and then machinery, tools, planes, that draw knives, that they're not cheap. They're not cheap purchases, and getting bulk stock of grips and scuff sheets, toe guards. I'm not just buying one at a time. I'm buying 100 of each at a time. So it's the initial outlay was quite hefty, but now it's as and when, and the money's there. So
Brilliant. And in terms of, obviously, we've just touched on the stock you have to buy and the equipment, but in terms of the knowledge that you've acquired as you've been delivering this service to people, how's the industry been in supporting you, and have you got other bat makers that you've been able to go to and establish your knowledge early on?
I mean, in terms of advice on repairs, there's John at Scott Cricket. He's been really good in a few ideas and things like that. Giles as well, GTP Cricket, he's been good. There's a guy, Jordan Harvey at JH Cricket, he's been good. And a guy in South Africa, Henko Murphy, Extra Cover Cricket, he's been really good as well. But actual bat makers, Paul Aldridge's been really good, giving me some advice, and Dave at XX Cricket, he's dropped a few words in my ears as well, so it's been good. And Mike from World Class Willow as well. He had a little chat with him on social media last week, and he's helpful.
It's terrific to see that. I guess the industry is coming together, and will support people, especially at this difficult time. Looking forward, what is your vision for Owens Cricket, and what are your plans to take the business forwards in the coming months and years?
Well, for now, just carry on doing what I'm doing. Hopefully sending out good repairs and refurbs for people. I'm learning shaping, buying clefts in from Aldred, which are absolute beasts, which he pressed, beautifully, and learning my trade, so to speak, there. But I don't know, 5-10 years maybe, making my own bats from pressing my own clefts, and that's the dream. But it's a long way off. I've got a lot to learn in terms of shaping before I even consider doing that. And then obviously there's pressing, which is an art in itself as well.